Welcome to another Emii Creations Artist Alley vlog. This time we're going to Otakon from July 28th to 30th at the Walter E. Washington Convention Center in Washington, D.C. Hey guys, we are prepping for Otakon and I am very behind because my flight is tomorrow morning and I am still packing, essentially. Well, I finished packing. We're just struggling with weight luggage issues, which is what we're always struggling with. For anybody don't know, luggages can only be up to 50 pounds and this one is currently at 55. Not good. And that one back there, I have not weighed, but I do have a backup plan. My backup plan is bring a third suitcase. This is my carry-on, which I am bringing still. So if we cannot fit them, it will be in here. So I did end up having to utilize the third suitcase because it would just not fit, but that's okay. I'm almost done just closing everything up, but before I do that, Suitcase Tour, so t-shirts, my personal clothes for the weekend, and this is lanyards, and I'm only using one of these banners this time. I'll show you how that looks once I'm completely set up. And then this is some tools, so there's scissors, tape, that kind of stuff. This is an extra sticker display, and this is a display for my socks. And underneath here I actually have some of the tier displays and some of the pipes just to distribute the weight. The rest of the tier displays, those wooden ones, are down there. And this is my sign hooks. On the top we have the socks, and then this is my toiletry bags, eco bags. I always bring slippers. More socks down here. This is my sample keychains and lanyards, and these are both plush keychains, and I have a little thing to film. So this is my carry-on. I always put a lot of heavy stuff in my carry-on, and this one is all my reusable sticker books in this box, and this is greeting cards, and this is my scanner and square reader, and I just brought a blanket for myself. And then over here, I have those grid QB thingy display thingies and the connectors for them. I have some PVC stuff in there. Sticker sheets, some stickers in there, but most of the stickers are in this long box. I literally bought that box just for stickers. This is, I always bring that. And then this is my personal pillow. I always bring a personal pillow. There's more sticker books in here because I wanted to just bring a few more. And then down here is my merch bags. So there it is, 3 big check-in suitcases and 1 carry-on. All right, all packed and ready to go. It is 6 a.m. when we are headed to the airport for Otakon. And I got all my luggages in the back. It's so early, but I am flying across countries, so that does make sense. But setup doesn't close until really late, like 10 p.m. So I still have to land at 8 p.m. So I probably will make it. We shall see. Made it. I don't know which side it is, but I know it's one. I think it's this side. Got in, but I am now again lost. I'm supposed to go to Hall A, but I'm at Hall D, so I will be trekking a little bit somewhere. Finally found it. Here's the booth. And then they're pretty close to the escalators here. There's the main info booth, I think. Yay, made it in time. All right, fam, while we're setting up, let's go through some details about Otakon. Otakon is a 3-day medium to large size convention located at the Walter E. Washington Convention Center in Washington, D.C. First of all, it is one of the most organized Artist Alley experiences I've ever encountered. The sign up is very clear, the representatives are really quick with responses, and they will even chat and answer questions in the Artist Alley Network International Discord, Annie for short. I will leave a link to the Artist Alley registration page for Otakon so you can read through the process of how to get in, but I will also be going over the 3 Artist Alley spaces available later in the video and some tips on their sign up process. But a quick note about load-in. I did want to mention quickly that they do have both freight and hand carry options for Artist Alley. Hand carry does have similar labor union restrictions that we see at other cons, which does include hand carry loaded must be within 1 to 2 trips without the use of hand carts, folding wagons, or hand trucks. Luggages are usually safe, so this is why you'll see me bring luggages in. It is also a bit of a trek to get from the front doors for hand carry to the Artist Alley, and it does include going on 2 separate elevators and walking a half con hall length distance with all your stuff. So be sure to keep this in mind when you're preparing to load in. I do believe freight for this con costs around $150 to $400 depending on the size of your vehicle. So I wasn't able to finish all my setup on setup days since I landed around 8:30 p.m. and then got to the con at 9 p.m. and they were pretty strict about closing it at 10 p.m. on setup day, which is fine because the con didn't actually start until 1 p.m. on Friday the next morning. Setup for me usually takes anywhere around 2 to 4 hours depending on the booth size and the table size. If you're curious about any of the tools or displays I use in this video, please be sure to check out my links below. I did make a whole Amazon list for all the things I use in my booth, and I do get a tiny 3% referral bonus if you buy directly from my Amazon list. So thank you for that. And we're all done and ready to go. I totally forgot one of my banners, so I janky made this thing. Hopefully people don't mind too much. I don't know if you can actually tell that it's like not supposed to look the way it's supposed to look. But anyways, I got the little cutie pies up there, and then got my sticker books. Yeah. Otakon, good luck! Alright, second day. First day was actually pretty decent, and the second day was almost double my first day in revenue, which was awesome. As you can see, the line was already pretty long to get into the convention center when we arrived in the morning, and there was also a line to get into the Artist Alley Hall itself, which is always a good sign. And the Artist Alley line was only for the Artist Alley Hall because the exhibitor hall was actually across the convention center in another hall. I personally didn't get a chance to film footage of the exhibitor hall, but I will link my friend Single Sploot's Otakon vlog below once it's up so you can see her booth at exhibitor hall. So first of all, as you may notice, we have a pretty good location for our booth right in front of the escalators. This is in part because we are considered an unlimited Artist Alley booth. They are essentially 10 by 10 spaces that include 2 tables, 2 chairs, and you are allowed to share the space with one other artist, which you will see my Artist Alley friend Leanne Hune in the video. I will link her work in the description below. So I did also manage some midday walkthrough footage for Saturday during one of the busiest hours of the con. While we were walking through, let's go over the 3 different booth sizes for Artist Alley Hall. The first Artist Alley booth type is, as I mentioned before, the unlimited in the front of the hall. They are the bigger booth priced at $1,100 this year, and they are assigned on a first come first serve basis. Location assignments are also related to that first come first serve position. Good thing to note about these spaces is that they are the only ones with no fan art limitations. The difference between this space and exhibitor spaces is that you do not get to re-sign up for the next year. You will need to go through the first come first serve application process for every event. The second type is Pro Row. You will also get a 10 by 10 booth space, but at a cheaper rate of $775 this year. The difference is that it is jured. This means you need to submit a portfolio including work experience, which will be judged by the Otakon staff. The top selected individuals will be offered a spot. This is more catered to people who have published work, work in the industry, or have a strong portfolio or brand. Full explanations of what they judge on is included in the registration link I put below in the description. I encourage you to take a look at that. Also note, they have a 50% only fan art rule for your display. And they do go by visual setup, so 50% of your booth has to be original work. The third type is what most Artist Alley goers are accustomed to, standard tables. They are a 8-foot table priced at a significant cheaper price of $325 for this year. These are sold as a screen lottery. You do still need to submit a portfolio for them to see, just to make sure you are abiding by their Artist Alley rules, like no AI art, no copying, no utilizing others' trademarks, etc. Once your portfolio is screened, you get put into a lottery and the winners of the tables are chosen at random. Note there's still a strict 30% only fan art rule for your display, much like Pro Row. Also note that even though they are pretty small 8-foot tables, Otakon is known to give you a good amount of room, so you can put a tall display behind you. I honestly love how much space they give the artists. They make sure the booths are good distance away from each other, so even at the smaller booth size, you really don't feel like sardines smashed together. Things to know about Artist Alley Hall as a whole. You are allowed to share with one other artist for every booth size. However, there are no proxies allowed. You as the artist must be there to sell your own work. This does include if you are sharing your booth with another artist, they must be there to sell their work as well. You are allowed to bring helpers alongside as long as you will be there with them. Overall, the different booth options is such a great way to handle and represent artists in all different levels of their growth. A very important part to note in this application process though is that you can actually apply for all 3 booth types at once. If you get into more than one, you are able to choose the one that best fits your business and budget, so there's no feelings of FOMO that you need to worry about in terms of application. So how do I feel about Otakon? How much did I make? How much does it cost? Like my general thoughts, I love this con so much. Like I said, they treat us so well, have such a good sign-up process, and it all feels very professional. I also think the hall sizes are good, not too big, not too small, for the amount of attendees Otakon gets. This does mean even though I flew all the way from California and have a pretty high cost, it was worth it for me. I've been doing this show in Artist Alley for 3 consecutive years now, and every year has been overwhelmingly worth it. So, in my opinion, highly recommended. The only small issue I have with this con is the hours. Honestly, it is so long. Saturday hours are from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. 11 hours is pretty insane in terms of Artist Alleys. They are also open 2 hours after Exhibitor Hall is closed on Saturday, which is nice for the extra people that flow over after Exhibitor closes. But honestly, I would still prefer if we ended even 1 hour earlier so that we can get dinner at a decent time. 10 p.m. is a pretty late out time, and I don't think it's 100% necessary, to be honest. I personally vote that we end at 8 p.m. for Artist Alley and 7 p.m. for Exhibitor Hall. Hopefully this changes in the future, but who knows. Still good considering. It is last day and the line already starts right there. And then it goes all the way through. So the last day does end a little earlier at 3 p.m. I did want to take time to thank everyone that came by, mostly the ones that mentioned they do watch my YouTube. I really get shy and embarrassed whenever someone says it, but it does make me super happy and keeps me motivated. So please do come by and introduce yourself if you do watch my videos. I would love to meet you all in person. And my next show will be actually New York Now, the wholesale event. But in terms of convention, my last convention for this year will be TwitchCon. So I hope to see you there as well. There's the line for the elevator. I almost called it escalator. There's the booth. We're going to the other elevator. We found a secret elevator in the back, and now we are out of the line. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was informative or entertaining. And if you like our videos, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the alert bell to help my channel grow. Until next time and until the next vlog. See you then.